kick it off, man.
We are live now. I say it as country as I can. Anyway, welcome back to Draft Bus Live. We're on episode 36. We've changed some stuff up a little bit. I know there's some issues with the podcast on the website the last 2 weeks. It has been corrected, but as always, you can watch the YouTube video. But crazy week in football. I think there were some really good games, some really big surprises. I think one of the biggest surprises is the shit shoveling that the Dolphins gave the Steelers.
It's funny. That's one of the games I betted on this weekend and ended up winning. I took the Dolphins. I think they were +7 because the Steelers' defense isn't good, dude. They're not that Steelers defensive.
Well, they let Jay Ajayi get 200 yards on them.
Yeah, they got the shit ran right down their throat.
Usually, they have pretty decent run defense, and their secondary has been suspect ever since Paul Mahler left. But you got to think about it. They got beat by the Eagles pretty badly, and then they lose to the Dolphins. So it's something about playing poor teams that they play down to their competition level.
That was one of the shocks there. When the Eagles beat them, it was one of those shocks.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know when Big Ben got hurt in the game, but even still, he was 189, 1 and 2 interceptions. But Landry Jones only threw one pass. And
I think he left and he came back, didn't he?
I'm not really sure.
Yeah, so I know Big Ben did come back after – it was right before halftime he went out and then came back in after halftime.
But, I mean, just inherently looking at it, they didn't have anything, no rushing yards. I mean, they had rushing yards, but Hayward Bay got
that huge
160, yeah. But it's just crazy. Jay Ajayi, 204 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Next week he will get you
38 yards on 29 carries.
Yeah. He'll have you 3 or 4 points in fantasy.
Yeah, I left him on bench because I feel like you just – I don't know. You don't start him. You don't know what's going on in that backfield.
Not reliable.
But that week, the person that had the hot hand is the one that got it. Another game that I was kind of surprised, I was watching a little bit of it back and forth, was the Jaguars game. They were getting beat pretty well by Brian Hoyer and the Bears, and then came back and they lost by a point. The Bears.
Brian Hoyer has thrown for 300 yards in the last 3 or 4 weeks or something like that. He couldn't find the end zone.
Yeah, and it's almost like what we were talking about earlier. Why would you put Cutler back in as well as Hoyer's been doing?
Not put Cutler back in, man. I would be done with Cutler at this point.
Hoyer's
throwing 300
4 weeks in a row.
Yards 4 weeks in a row, so he's got something going there. Why would you go back to Cutler? Cutler's going to throw 2 or 3 picks or something. Has Hoyer thrown a pick this entire time?
Yeah. He threw first game he played. He threw a pick.
Okay,
but he had a fumble. He had a fumble. He hadn't had a pick yet, actually.
So he's played 4 games, thrown 300 yards, and no picks. Why would you put Cutler back in?
Yeah,
the pick machine.
What's that wide receiver on their team that went crazy?
Meredith.
Yeah, Cameron Meredith.
2 weeks in a row now, he's kind of went wild.
Well,
he's kind of Hoyer's guy.
You see that all the time with backup quarterbacks where these people come in out of nowhere. You're like, who the hell is this guy? Well, they built that camaraderie during practice, so they're like, I'm going to throw at him nonstop. Just do. Because Alshon Jeffries has been out of nowhere.
So, do you remember when Hoyer was with the Browns those couple years ago and
was killing it?
He actually won. Yeah, he won with them. He had Jordan Cameron at the time, and didn't he have
Josh Gordon went nuts?
Yeah, I think so.
Right at the beginning, it was.
So, man, why wouldn't you roll with him? And then you have Howard doing very well. If Langford comes back, why are you putting Langford in there? I mean,
I don't know. I think if and when he's come back, I think it's going to be an RBC.
No, dude, that's Howard's backfield.
Yeah, he had a rough week last week, but he did get a touchdown. They focused on him. I think they're starting to realize that
he's good.
He is. He's really good.
He is really good. Did he lead? He led Birmingham Alabama Birmingham in yards before they closed the program down.
Yeah, something like that.
And then he played behind
Tevin Coleman, right?
Tevin, Coleman at Indiana. So I think he's pretty good. I also think he's one of those guys because he was hurt in college, like pretty much most of the time. But when he wasn't hurt, he was rushing for 200 yards. So, any other surprises games this week?
The Packers game.
They got beat by old Dak and crew.
Yeah, I figured that game was going to be a Packers win, like get back on the winning train. But Aaron Rodgers, I don't know what the fuck is going on with that offense, but they cannot move the ball.
I think it's because they're not giving him any young pieces that are worth the shit, man. Eddie Lacy, I don't care what anybody says.
He's done.
Eddie Lacy sucks, man. And then Jordy Nelson's old. Randall Cobb hasn't been himself in like 2-3 years.
Ty Montgomery was the number one wide receiver for the Packers in that game.
Yeah. And with Eddie Lacy, and especially with tomorrow night, they're not playing Eddie Lacy, so they just traded for Nile Davis. It's hard. It's starting to get hard to say, especially in the league I got. The Bush League. Do I start Matt Ryan or Aaron Rodgers?
I think you got to go with a hot hand, man.
Yeah, Matt Ryan is fucking killing it.
We were even talking about it earlier, though. Like, I'm in the predicament in one league. Is like, do I start Tom Brady or Drew Brees?
I don't know, man. I guess in that instance, it would depend on who they're playing. And New Orleans is playing Kansas City, who has Eric Berry and Marcus Peters. Justin Houston's still out. He's not going to be back for a few weeks. But, I mean, they just beat down the Raiders. And the Raiders going into that week had a top 10 offense or something like that. Got nothing going. Granted, Latavius Murray's out, and it was raining in that game. But I don't know. When you look at the fantasy points that the Chiefs have pulled up, in the past it's always been like 10, 12, 13, 11, nothing below like 6 usually. And I think they got negative points once this year against a passing team. I think it was against the Steelers. And then I think they got 0 in the Bush League. Maybe week 1. I don't know. But moving forward after the bye, they might start doing well. But we'll have to see what happens, man, because that Chiefs offense is going to slow down the game with running the ball just like they did against Oakland, and they're going to do it very well. So
yeah, who's New England playing?
I actually don't know. I'll tell you. I'll look at James White and see who's he's playing. Pittsburgh. They're playing Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, I'm starting them. Pittsburgh's defense is bad.
Yeah, they are bad.
Like, that's what Pittsburgh's offense is so high-powered. I really think that's a byproduct of how bad their defense is.
Do you throw Kirk Cousins in there with they're playing the worst defense for pass?
I'm starting Kirk Cousins all the time, man.
Really?
That's my only quarterback in the league.
I like so this week it's Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins. So,
but that's also the league I have David Johnson and LaShawn McCoy. So
LaShawn McCoy left practice today.
Yeah,
you don't want everybody to know that.
Was it a hammy?
Mama didn't raise no bitch. He's going to be out there on Sunday.
Yeah, he broke his hand last week and he still played.
Yeah.
So, we're talking about some of these star-sits players and things of that nature. So, let's go into it. What's the Penny Pitch Ray pick of the week? I know we missed waiver wire, but maybe some of these people are still out there.
Go for it, Andy. You had yours.
I think your Penny Pinch pick of the week is going to be focused kind of on your bye weeks. So, they're coming up, and I actually have 2, and they're wide receivers. And my thought is Kenny Britt or Cole Beasley. If either one of them are out there, and Cole Beasley, if you don't have a bye week this week, pretty good pickup for next week. If you have a bye week this week, then Kenny Britt's a good one. They both average 11 points this week, and it's not necessarily like 11 points a week for the game so far. But it's not necessarily like they've had a really crazy good game. They've just averaged some good points. For instance, Cole Beasley has scored right around 9 points every game this year. The last 2, he's had 12 and 19. And old Kenny Britt out there had one terrible game, but has averaged about 9 points the rest of the game, with a 27 coming last week. It appears to be Cole Beasley is Dak Prescott's reliable choice.
I mean, he's the only one really in that Cowboys offense since Dez has been hurt.
Well, see, he doesn't even throw to Witten at all. Hardly at all.
Maybe sometimes.
No, Cole Beasley's good. If he's out there, which I just checked, he's not out there in any of my leagues. Just because I really think he's that person that
he's a solid bye week ad.
Yeah. Mine's gonna be Cameron Meredith. If he's out there in ESPN, he's owning 52.6. He's killed it so far in the last 2 weeks, especially with Hoyer back there. I really think he is an excellent complement of Kevin White and Alshon Jeffrey. So a really good slot guy. So
Kevin White sucks.
I just took my own advice, picked up Cole Beasley in the Bush League.
Mine, I'm going to go with Nile Davis. Right now, he is owned in 19% of leagues.
And how much of that was before this week?
Well,
it had 0.1.
That was Miles Davis that owned him.
Oh, yeah. It's literally, he went up 19 this week alone.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you got to think about it. Like I was saying earlier, Eddie Lacy really doesn't do anything, man. Nile Davis, he's an average runner. I think I looked at his stats, and he averages around 3 yards a carry, but he's more effective catching passes. The Packers need to do something differently. So it would, to me, if you got a spot, you got a crappy player on your bench and you're like, I can drop this guy. He hasn't done anything. Why not take a shot on Nile Davis? Because Eddie Lacy's going to be out for a while. James Starks is going to be out for a while. And it's going to be between Nile Davis and Ty Montgomery.
Yeah. I read a thing the other day that was saying going into Sunday's game, Randall Cobb was the backup running back. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on with Green Bay's offense, but they are hot doo-doo right now. If they run the ball 20 times tomorrow night, I'd be shocked.
They only gave away a conditional late rounder for him, which I don't – it's not that bad.
He's like 2017 or 2018 seventh rounder, something like that.
I'm not sure.
To fill that void that they need.
I read where the Chiefs were shopping Davis around anyway prior to the draft, and it's because they just signed Charkandrick West and Spencer Ware to deals before that. So,
I mean, he was kind of on his way out anyway because he hasn't done a whole lot since Thompson Tyreek Hill now does the kick returns, but what is
Charkandrick West?
Charkandrick West,
killed him. So that was 2 years ago.
Killed him for running back wise, but he actually Nile Davis used to do a few kick returns.
Yeah. Charkandrick West basically killed all fantasy Nile Davis stuff.
Don't forget when Jamal got hurt and then Nile Davis came in, he was like he was serviceable. You could plug him in, and since that offense is so run-oriented, he was going to get you points.
He was one of the best handcuffs back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I was wanting to look to see what free agent running backs were actually out there. What's a free agent? I'm trying to look it up. Like, name somebody that's a free agent.
Ray Rice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mike Davis. I know Carlos Hyde is going to be out, so they got Mike Davis.
So, we had the penny pinch Ray. What about the bye week Bill drop?
Ooh.
I don't know. I didn't put a lot of thought into this.
They could sign Joseph Randle.
You know what's funny? I'm going to throw this out there because I have him in a few leagues. Fucking Russell Wilson.
That's a steep drop, man.
Dude, he is doing hot doo-doo this year at quarterback. In one league I just looked in, he's the 24th rated quarterback.
Really? Like points-wise?
Yeah.
It's a little rough.
And I mean, that's just an ESPN standard league. Like, he literally has gone 11, 11, 13, 24, 0. I mean, 10. He's only had 5 touchdown passes in 5 games.
And coming off of last year, you would think that, they would just continue on what they were building there at the end. He was really hot, throwing to Baldwin.
Yeah.
and it's not been there, man. I think it's that O-line. I really do. And Russell's been hurt. He's hurt right now going through that, so he just can't move around as much, and it's not helping him at all.
Speaking of Dumpsville, I literally just dropped him for another quarterback.
Somebody's going to go insane on that waiver wire, though, trying to pick him up.
I picked him up on waivers. Somebody already dropped him.
What the hell kind of league is this?
It's a 12-team league.
I have the same problem, though, is that I don't really know who to drop. Like, I don't know who to be the bye week drop of the week because I'm just thinking about it, and Michael Floyd's like one of the guys, like he's not performing well.
That whole Cardinal wide receiver core, unless it's Larry Fitz.
Yeah, Larry Fitz is the only one that you would keep.
And that's what sucks is they're so good, and you don't know who's going to be the flavor of the week.
Would you drop Carson Palmer?
With his, did he get another concussion?
I wouldn't have him on team.
Literally, Joe Flacco scored more fantasy points than Russell Wilson this year.
This year?
Yep.
I'm going to look it up and see. Simeon has scored more. Brock Osweiler has scored more.
Fucking Eli Manning, that son of a bitch. How's that guy owned in that many percentage of leagues?
Because of his name.
Dude, Dak is – I don't understand. So, Wilson, do you have a bye week drop? I know you were saying you hadn't thought about it.
I haven't really thought about it. I have Carson Palmer in one league. That could be one. He really hasn't done anything. I don't know what's happening to them. That whole offense is going through David Johnson. So,
well, if you don't have a bye week Bill drop of the week, who do you have that you would sell high on right now to trade away?
DeAndre Hopkins, bitch ass.
Because a lot of negativity from you, Wilson.
You don't like Brock.
Because Brock Osweiler can't get in the damn ball. How do you go from having 1,500 yards last year with Brandon Weeden thrown to you? Who else was down there?
I had 4 different quarterbacks.
Hoyer.
I had Ryan Mallett. Brian Hoyer was down there. The hometown kid that's at the Rams now.
Keenum.
Yeah, he was there last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he gets 1,500 yards, and Brock Osweiler can't find a way to get this man the ball.
Like everybody's like they have zero timing. Like that's something that's crazy with it is Brock, in my honest opinion, has a good arm, but there is no sync up between them and that wide receiver core because he either throws it way off the route, whereas somebody messed up the route or he didn't know where the hell they were running to, or the timing's just off. He throws it behind them, or he throws it in front of them just a little bit.
You know what I think it is? I think Osweiler just sucks dick.
Yeah, he's pretty
what it is.
I mean, he's no. I can't even think of what to say. I bet they wish they still had Brian Hoyer.
I bet they wish they hadn't assigned his ass. They probably wish that they would have drafted somebody. Yeah.
I think like mine, the person I'm selling high on, Antonio Brown.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Nick, we can talk about it together. Big Big's down.
Literally, you son of a bitch!
Is that what you said earlier?
I don't think you can get rid of him, man.
I think you can. And I think
there's no way because
you're selling high. So I guarantee you could probably get 2 really good wide receivers or wide receiver and running back.
You could easily get a 2 for 1 out of him.
So you know that I would keep Antonio, but let's say somebody offered you
Melvin Gordon.
No, I'd have that more than Melvin Gordon.
Okay, so we're just going any position, or are we going other wide receivers?
Yeah, whatever you could trade for Antonio Brown.
So you would take Devonta Freeman.
No.
And
I'm getting a top 8 running back if I'm trading Antonio Brown just because he carries that name.
I thought you said 2 players, so it would be Devonta Freeman and somebody like Jarvis Landry or T.Y. Hilton.
I'd probably trade him for
PPR league.
I mean, I would trade him for DeMarco Murray and T.Y. or like
Somebody would have to be dumb to give up DeMarco Murray right now.
I'm just saying, any 2-for-1 where you get some
Bill's
decent.
got him.
Does Bill have? Bill can trade Ben for Antonio Brown. I mean, there's anything out there. I'm going for 2-for-1 if I have Antonio Brown.
Yeah, I mean, Antonio Brown right now is the number 2 wide receiver. In most, I mean, some standard leagues, everything like that. But if you could trade him for like the number 8 running back and a number 10 wide receiver, why wouldn't you do that?
I mean, I probably would, but I mean, it's just so hard.
Especially to build that depth and this is where people win and lose fantasy.
So let's look at this. I'm just going to go total points scored, nothing else. If someone offered you Isaiah Crowell and Marvin Jones for Antonio Brown, would you do it?
No.
Doesn't sound good. Those aren't sexy names.
What about Amari Cooper and Frank Gore?
I don't know. The thing, being a Raiders fan, I'm more critical of them than what they do.
Is solid this year as running back.
He gets you the points.
The thing, you got to look at the Raiders' schedule coming up. Like, for the next 2 weeks, we play like the Jags and Tampa Bay, and then we got Denver week 9, and then we got to go back through and play the Chiefs again on the back end, and we got to play the Chargers again, but that would just be a shootout.
What about
Denver again? So it's so hard, and you don't know who's going to be on that night. You don't know if it's going to be Amari or if it's going to be Michael Crabtree. In the past 2 weeks, it's been Amari. So,
what about Jordan Howard and Brandon Cooks?
No.
Dude, I don't like Brandon Cooks. He's gotten like half of his points in the past 2 weeks. Over half of his points.
What about Mike Evans and C.J. Anderson?
Yes.
I'd probably do that because that's 2 top 10s. Okay, Nick, who do you got that you're buying low? Somebody you're going to go after?
I will. You know what's funny is last week I tried my damnedest to get Odell Beckham Jr. or Gronk. But then, of course, they fucking had just fantastic days. And it sucks because that's really who I was kind of looking at last week. But you could almost say Alshon Jeffrey. I really think he's doing pretty good. So he's yet to hit pay dirt, which is the same thing with Odell Beckham Jr. And he's sitting 9th among wide receivers with 487 yards. So no other wide receivers has more than 301 without a touchdown. So I really think it's going to be the time before he breaks out.
I mean, I can see it. Wilson, what do you got? I don't have anything else to add to that.
No, you could probably buy Martellus Bennett really low now that Gronk's come back.
Dude, that whole double tight end thing, you could start both of them.
Mm-hmm. But I also think like Martellus Bennett had 1 good week so far this year. The rest of the year he's been like 7-ish points.
But still in a bye week, if you're buying them really low and you just need some bye week depth, there he is, man.
I don't think I'm getting Bennett for bye week depth either. So I'm taking him. I start him in the league and it's literally on his upside and nothing else.
I mean, so if you had Sammy Coates, would you give up Sammy Coates to get Bennett to help you out if you already had wide receiver depth? Like if you just had to give up something that you were deep in just to help you out.
If I was getting Sammy Coates, I would get another tight end. Like I would get somebody better. Somebody I know is going to be the number 1 that's going to get the throws.
I don't know. I wouldn't give up a top tier tight end for Sammy Coates, though.
A standard ESPN league, he's number 2, averaging 11.7.
So he had that 1 game with 3 touchdowns.
And week 2, he had 5 for 114 with a touchdown.
Averages that out.
So, I mean, week 3, when he had his 3 touchdowns, he still had 6 targets.
He's going to have opportunities in that offense, man. That's why
I know. It's Tom Brady, so he's going to, of course, share it around.
No, it's more or less they have so many weapons. Which one do you cover? Do you cover Gronk in the red zone or do you cover Bennett?
I mean, that's part of the thing that's Tom Brady's going to share it around with his wide receivers.
Yeah.
Everybody in that offense is going to have a catch a game.
Literally, when Aaron Hernandez was playing on that team, you could have started either one of them. You could have started both of them each week.
He was killing people.
Yeah, on and off the field.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Loden Banks, whatever your name is.
That arena football standout.
Son of a bitch.
I don't even know if it was arena football. I think it was like sub-arena football.
Loden, I don't know what his name was.
National Indoor League or something crazy. So my buy low is Eddie Lacy. You could honestly trade somebody just a middle-of-the-road running back right now for Eddie Lacy.
It's so hard to get a running back off anybody, though. It really is, man.
I wouldn't trade my fucking chopped off dick for Eddie Lacy right now.
Well, it's not worth that much on. So
Bullshit. It's great.
It's great. It's fucking great, Andy.
Yeah.
it's phenomenal.
I'd rather have Nick's chopped off dick over Eddie Lacy.
I just think, Eddie Lacy is that running back of that team. And like Wilson, I understand he hadn't had a touchdown all year, and
dude, he
sucks. At times, looks completely terrible.
Yeah,
but I just still think, I'm buying low on him right now because you could probably trade. You could trade about anything for the
I'd
man.
rather go get Ryan Matthews off somebody than friggin' Eddie Lacy.
I'd trade Ryan Matthews for Eddie Lacy.
You're fucking stupid.
I'd also trade Arian Foster for Eddie Lacy.
Well, yeah, Arian Foster's hurt as shit.
Well, yeah, he sucks. What other shitty players would I trade for Eddie Lacy?
I'd trade any hurt player out for the year for Eddie Lacy.
Any running back on the Ravens.
I'll give you Danny Woodhead for Eddie Lacy. No, I'm good.
I'd probably any running back on the Giants.
What about Lamar Miller?
I'd hold on to Lamar Miller like a baby.
Dude, Lamar Miller's
Don't they both have the same amount of touchdowns, though?
Zero? The only difference is, let me scroll up here and find Lamar Miller up top. Lamar Miller has had 2 100-plus yard games, and all the rest of them have been 80-plus. He had 1 touchdown last week, Wilson. Shove that in your pee hole.
Right in your pee hole. Queer.
Like a sharp stick.
We're using bad words.
I didn't say that. That's a sharp stick.
No, I'm talking about me.
It's Hidge.
Been drinking too much.
It's Hidge. I had a
so
point I was going
to
make. I had a point I was going to make, and I lost it trying to prove wrong about Lamar Miller.
What's some of the games you all are looking forward to this weekend?
So that's when you were talking about the Raiders' schedule, and they play the Broncos coming up soon. So the Broncos just had Thursday night game, and now they have a Monday night game. They have a Monday night game.
Say that again. I'm sorry. What?
So last week they had a Thursday night game, and now their next game is Monday.
Mm-hmm.
You go prime time to prime time, and 10 days between games.
And the NFL loves to suck you all off.
Yep.
Well,
the NFL just loves to stroke the Broncos, man.
Just one Super Bowl.
When do the Raiders play the Broncos? 2 week? Week 9?
Week 9. 3 weeks.
It's on Sunday Night Football, right?
We gotta watch it together.
In the black hole.
We gotta watch it together, and I'll just come. I'll show up.
No, I'm watching that game by myself.
Well, you live in Nashville. You won't even drive down here for anything, so it won't matter.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody needs to be around me on Raiders game day.
No, nobody. Your negativity is like it's a fire right now.
I want to be around you on this podcast with all that negativity.
It's DeAndre Hopkins, man. He brings out the worst in me.
No, Andy, I'll watch it with you.
It's your fantasy team that brings out the worst in you, not just that man. Yeah, Nick. What week is it? You said it's in 2 weeks.
Pretty sure.
Week 9.
Yeah, week 9. So November 16th.
And then I think week 11 we play the Monday night game.
Yeah, Texans.
Because that's in Mexico. And then when do we play our Thursday night game?
I think the Texans game not a Thursday night game?
It's Monday
that's
night.
our Monday night game.
It's Monday night.
Who do we play? The Chiefs? Is it the Chiefs again on Thursday night?
I mean, look,
It's either
I'm just going to scroll through it.
AFC West game. It's near the end of the season because
Chiefs December 8th.
Our last game is against Denver. And I guarantee if it comes down to the division, we'll be on Sunday night. They'll move the game.
You guys want to go to Kansas City to see that game?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to
Have a baby.
I'll be in Nashville.
Foot in Kansas City.
I'll be in Nashville that week because I'm going to the Broncos game with the Titans.
What weekend is that?
The December 8th is the Thursday night game.
What will you do if Marcus Mariota sets some ridiculous Titans record and just like throws for like 7 or 8 touchdowns? Most picks.
Maybe you can do it with a broken leg. But anyway, you were talking about games this week that we think will be good.
Mine?
Yeah. Okay.
I really think the Broncos are going to murder Brock Osweiler this week.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, we're coming off back-to-back losses, so.
Hey, sit and start players in fantasy. Sit DeAndre Hopkins and anybody on the Texans offense.
Will Fuller, Lamar Miller, all.
I'm starting Will Fuller, man. Forget all y'all.
How'd that start go last week for you?
I didn't start it.
Big fucking goose egg you threw up.
I won last week. Do you not remember this? We had a murder scene and group me about it. So, I honestly think that Chargers-Falcon game is going to be really good.
Yeah, it's going to be a shootout.
Rootin' tootin' high scoring is what it's going to be.
Hey, man, Chargers might win that.
The Jaguars are going to win handedly.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny that. That's
start Blake.
Yeah.
Probably starts Bortles and company.
Pretty sure I'd drop him in a lot of leagues, but hey, if you've held on to him this long, just start him.
I'm this close to dropping Carr or trading him away.
Do it.
Looking at you, Zach Wilson.
Hey, man. I just picked up Stafford. I'm set.
Yeah, until he breaks his arm.
Never happening, man.
I think the Browns will get their first win.
Who are they playing? They're playing the Bengals.
Nah,
they're not going to beat the Bengals.
What about Burflick? What do you think? Burfict.
He's a dirty-ass player.
When do you think he is going to get permanently banned from the league?
The next time he stomps on somebody's leg.
Battery's out a whole year.
Blunt.
He took out Martellus Bennett's knee before the pass ever got there.
Yep. And then what was I saw something about Edelman getting fined for a face mask, but the picture I saw with it, Burflick was face masking the shit out of him. So I don't know what it was for.
Dude, that dude's a
dirty player, man. Yeah.
He is a cheap bastard. We're not following the YouTube guidelines on the show. Let me just be honest.
What are we supposed to do? Are there's guidelines to this?
No cussing and no drinking.
Whoops.
Hey, it takes somebody to watch your show to actually report you. So
we get
start to get reported. We'll know that people outside of our immediate friends and family actually watch the show.
I don't know. Maybe somebody does.
My wife watches us sometimes. She says that we always seem so bored.
My wife hasn't seen a single one. Let's keep it that way.
Your wife really cares about you, man.
This is my safe place.
I'm going to text her the link.
This is my safe place. We average about.
Don't really say the numbers. I mean, it might just ruin whatever shred of credibility and dignity that we had.
One episode where we had like 100 views, but
that was the one where I asked you about jacking off on your couch back there, man.
But we have several that are over 10, and then the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just looking at 6. Have averaged 10. The last 6 episodes.
Look, man, this is what you have to do. This is how we get ratings. I need you to go back on that couch and take one for the team.
What was Wilson
talking about before we got on here? Whip your dick out.
Just jag it.
And just start going to town. Fuck the YouTube guidelines. We need viewers.
You get Mac in there to lick your asshole. Guarantee you.
No, I want you to get that foam pirate sword over there. And I just want you to start going to town on your ass.
Do it.
And I want you to start tweeting it out everywhere, just pictures of it, and let them tune in and check out the show.
Hey, what do you? We're almost done here, I think. But what about the busted coverage thing? So I was at the MTSU game this past weekend, which we lost, and it was awful. But every time
lost too, man, fucking sucks.
There was this siren girl in the upper section of bleachers, and there's nobody at the MTSU game, like 5 people. But there was a siren girl up there, and for any reason, she would turn that bitch on, and it would just be like, wow! And then one time, So at the end of the game, we scored a touchdown. She sirened it. And then they had to review it. And then after they reviewed it, she sirened it again. The kick gets blocked. She turns the fucking siren on when MTSU's kick gets blocked. She's like, oh, something happened. Siren. Let's go.
It's 3rd and 15 on MTSU's 3-yard line, and she just cranks that bitch up.
4th and 50 out here, and they just. But I was just thinking, she's the hero, or the hero MTSU needs, but not the one they need right now. What is this? I guess Busted Coverage was like, "What's going on in this picture?" Thinking it's the Bills Mafia, somebody's having sex up there or something.
Dude,
nothing explicit.
I just gotta go to a fucking Bills game.
We should, and we'll call it bi-week Bill stuff all week long, man.
I don't want to go to Buffalo.
You don't want to go anywhere, man.
Dude, I want to get thrown through a plastic table.
That's how we get on Barstool Sports, man.
We need to go to Vegas, though, if the Raiders end up moving. But Goodell's going to try his damnedest to keep us in Oakland. So,
did you read all that latest stuff? It said Oakland will have a thing by the end of I think next week.
Yeah, but I mean,
but they're not going to get a bidding war
with him. He's tried to work with them so much, hasn't he? And they just kind of shit on him.
I really think this is them going, oh shit, they're actually thinking about fucking moving.
That's what I saw. The thing is that Mark Davis or whatever was like, yeah, we just dropped the ball and they ran with it. So I mean, they got funding. They passed the bill to raise taxes to fund it. I mean, it seems pretty much they're moving to Vegas.
If you have the powerful owners in the NFL backing it, then the other ones will fall in suit too.
Yeah. So if you have Robert Kraft, Jerry Jones, those people that know it's a money-making business.
Yeah.
That's what happens. That's what it is. I mean, that's how they got it done. So I think we're pretty much it here on episode 36. As always, check us out on YouTube. Draft Bus is their channel name, which you should be watching it right now. But if you're not, you're hearing it on iTunes or Podcast Addict or wherever. Check us out on Twitter, FF Draft Bus, at FF Draft Bus, on the web at ffdraftbus.com. And then, of course, hit us up when you start sick questions or just random things. I think we do successful at that, at least. Somewhat. But y'all got anything else to add?
No.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week, everybody.
See you.